Sometimes we think getting stronger is all about adding new good habits. But what if it's actually about getting rid of the bad ones, the ones that are really holding you back? Well, the story behind one of the most famous lists on this very topic, it didn't come from some fancy research lab. It was born from just unimaginable personal loss. So this is the book, 13 Things Mentally Strong People Don't Do by psychotherapist Amy Morin. And it really did start a global conversation. But to get to the heart of her message, to really understand its power, you have to understand the tragedies that created it in the first place.
I mean, just listen to this. When she was only 23, Amy's mother died, completely out of the blue. And then, just a few years later, her husband, Lincoln, who was only 26, he passed away from a heart attack. And the timing, it's just unbelievable. It happened on the exact same weekend they were honoring the 3-year anniversary of her mother's death.
Yeah, this timeline, it really puts her journey into perspective, doesn't it? I mean, you lose your mother, then your husband, all in just a few years. She did eventually find love again and remarried, which is amazing. But life just wasn't done testing her. Just when things seemed to be getting back to normal, she got hit with another devastating blow. Her new father-in-law was diagnosed with terminal cancer.
And this was the turning point. You can just imagine her sitting there, thinking about how unbelievably unfair it all was. And in that moment, she realized she had a choice. She could go down that dark path, spiral into self-pity and despair, or she could make a conscious choice to be mentally strong, to get through the grief that she knew was coming.
So what did she do? She sat down and wrote a list. This wasn't for a blog, it wasn't for a book deal, it was just for her. It was a personal reminder, a list of all the destructive habits she had to fight to survive her earlier grief. The very things that could completely derail her if she let them.
And this quote, it just nails the core idea. Think about it like this. You can hit the gym every single day, right? But if you go and eat a dozen donuts on the way home, you're not going to see the results you want. Good habits are great, for sure. But it's so often the bad habits that sabotage all our progress. So getting rid of what's holding you back, that's what really matters.
Okay, so this begs the question, right? What exactly is mental strength, according to Amy Morin? Let's break down her whole framework.
So here's her definition, and I think it's so powerful because it's so practical. It's not about pretending you're a robot, never feeling sad or angry, not at all. It's about being able to regulate those emotions, manage your own thoughts, and still behave in a positive way, no matter what life is throwing at you.
And it's just as important to understand what mental strength isn't. It's not about acting tough, puffing out your chest. It's not about ignoring your emotions or burying them deep down. And it is definitely not about just thinking positive all the time. It's about being real with yourself, being aware of your emotions, and thinking realistically.
Okay, so this is really the engine behind her whole philosophy. She calls it the three-pronged approach. The idea is simple but powerful. Your thoughts, your behaviors, and your emotions, they're all connected. You can't really change one without it affecting the others. So if you want to build real mental strength, you have to work on all three at the same time. Which brings us right to the heart of the book, the specific habits that mentally strong people make a point to avoid.
Yep, 13 things. 13 habits that just drain your mental energy and stop you from reaching your full potential.
And here they are, the whole list. As you look through these, you'll probably start to see a pattern. Some of them are about our own internal world, right? Like number 1, wasting time feeling sorry for themselves, or number 7, dwelling on the past. Then you've got others that are all about how we deal with other people, like worrying about pleasing everyone, or resenting other people's success. And a few are about our expectations, like feeling the world owes you something, or expecting results overnight. But the common thread through all of them, it's a huge shift from being reactive to being proactive, about taking back control of your focus, your energy, and your own life story.
Honestly, every single one of these is worth a deep dive. But to really see how this works in practice, let's just zoom in on the first 2 from the list. Okay, first up, wasting time feeling sorry for yourself. Oh man, it is so easy to fall into this trap, isn't it? To think your problems are the worst, that nobody understands. But the mentally strong approach, it's to actively exchange that self-pity for gratitude. And that is exactly what Amy Morin did. Instead of just focusing on everything she had lost, she made a choice to be grateful for the time she did have. All right, number 2, giving away your power.
This happens anytime you blame other people for how you feel or for the things you do. Mentally strong people, they hold onto their power by taking full responsibility for their choices and their emotional responses. They get that ultimately, no one can make you feel a certain way unless you give them permission to.
So, how do you actually put all of this into practice? Well, Morin's approach is really about becoming your own mental strength coach. And a huge part of that is shifting your mindset. You stop seeing it as some destination you have to reach, and you start seeing it for what it really is, a daily practice. So if there's one key takeaway, it's this. Mental strength isn't a finish line you cross one day and you're done. No way. It's just like physical fitness. Your mental muscles need constant work. It's an ongoing practice. You're always monitoring your thoughts, regulating your emotions, and choosing to act in a productive way day in and day out.
And that brings us to the end of our explainer. So as we wrap up, I want you to look back at that list of 13 habits. And here's the final thought I want to leave you with. Which one of those, just one, if you could let it go today, would make the biggest difference in your life, starting right now?